Hi everyone, I am Jermaine G. Sakharis from BSF 1B. Our topic is all about leaves. So, before I proceed, I would like to give some description of leaves. So, a leaf is an above-ground plant organ and it is green. Its main functions are photosynthesis and gas exchange. A leaf is often flat, so it absorbs the most light and thin, so that the sunlight can get the chloroplast in the cells. Most leaves have stomata which open and close. The leaves will grow back in spring. Okay, so today we have to discuss or tackle about the leaves. So first, the content of our discussion is our definition of leaves, structure of a typical leaf, arrangement of leaves on stem, structure and types of leaves, and types of compound leaves. So, leaves is a flattened structure of a higher plant, typically green and blade-like, that is attached to the stem directly or via a stalk. Then, leaves are the main organs of photosynthesis and transpiration. So, when we say photosynthesis, it is a vital process that occurs in the leaves of a plant. Then, sa ano naman sa transpiration, when we say transpiration, it is the extra water comes out of the leaves in the form of vapor. So, many of the trees have lost their leaves, a thing that resembles a leaf in being flat and thin. So, kaning lapad siya niya nipis. Typically, something that is one of two or more similar items forming a set or stack. Then, leaves are the main sites for photosynthesis, the process by which plants synthesize food. Siya ang nag-synthesize sa food. Then, most leaves are usually green due to the presence of chlorophyll in the leaf cells. However, some leaves may have different colors. So sagaran do sa leaves, lahi og lahi siyang color caused by other plant pigments that mask the green chlorophyll. Then the thickness, shape, and size of leaves are adapted to the environment. So, each variation helps a plant species maximize its chances of survival in a particular habitat. Then, usually the leaves of plants growing in tropical rainforests have larger surface areas than those of plants growing on deserts or very cold conditions, which are likely to have a smaller surface area to minimize water loss. So now we have to proceed structure of a typical leaves. That are some examples of the structure of leaves. So each leaf typically has a leaf blade called lamina, which is also the widest part of the leaf. Lamina. So, lamina or leaf blade is a thin, flat, green, expanded part of the leaf. Then, some leaves are attached to the plant stem by petiole. So when we say petiole, it is the leaf stalk that pushes the lamina to secure proper sunlight. Then, leaves that do not have petiole and are directly attached to the plant stem are called sessile leaves. So when we say sessile leaves in botany, sessility meaning sitting used in the sense of resting on the surface, and is a characteristics of plant parts that have no stalk. Then flowers or leaves are borne directly from the stem or peduncle, and thus lack a petiole or pedicel. The leaves of most monocotyledon lack petioles. Then, small green appendages usually found at the base of the petiole are known as stipules. Stipules. So when we say stipules, means in botany, a stipule is an outgrowth typically borne on both sides, sometimes on just one side, of the base of a leaf stalk, the petiole. So, most leaves have a midrib which travels the length of the leaves and branches to each side to produce veins of vascular tissue. So when we call veins, it consists of vascular tissues which are important for the transport of food and water. Then, the edge of the leaf is called the margin. So when we say margin, mura na siya ganang kibala magsulat kag letter. So kailangan dapat na jud siya yung margin. Parerabig na siya sa dahon na siya gitawag, ngayag siya gitawag nga margin, the edge of the leaf. Then, within each leaf, the vascular tissues forms veins. Then, the arrangement of vein in a leaf is called the venation pattern. So, when we say venation pattern, is the pattern of veins in the blade of a leaf. Then, the venation pattern of a leaf is classified as reticulated, parallel or dichotomous. Then, so we have moved on to monocots. First, I would like to say something about monocot. A monocot has only one seed leaf. Monocot is short for monocotyledon. A cotyledon is a seed leaf and a mono means one. So, monocots have parallel venation. The veins run straight line across the length of the leaf without converging at a point. Then, let's proceed to dicots. So, before I proceed, a dicot has two cotyledons. Dicot is short for dicotyledon, and di means two. The seeds leaf are usually hand-red and fat because they are two values of the seed. So, in dicots, however, the veins of the leaf have a net-like appearance, forming a pattern known as a reticulate venation. So, the main difference between the two monocotyledons and dicotyledons is that monocot contains a single cotyledon in its embryo, whereas dicot contains two cotyledons in its embryo. So, I would like to add some explanation about the leaves. So, there are three main functions of a leaf. The leaves perform three main functions such as manufacture of food, interchange of gases between the atmosphere and the plant body, and evaporation of water. So I have to go back to the structure of a leaf. So when we say structure of a leaf, a typical leaf or a pilopodium has three parts. These are leaf base, petiole, and lamina. So, an extant plant, the ginkgo biloba, has a dichotomous venation where the veins form. So, that's all. Thank you.